Hi, my name is David, and this is my farm and trade subsidies post for discussion. To start off with, the discussion post wants us to look through two advantages and two disadvantages of the current system and basically look through what's happening right now. So, to start off with, I'd like to highlight a couple advantages of the government subsidies in the farming industry, specifically in Washington state. To start off with is stability. Now, stability has a couple different facets to it. One of them is income stability for farmers. A lot of the big organizations, even some of the conservation organizations that aren't directly government subsidies, but kind of these big corporate or big government involvements, actually helps to kind of even things out. Where kind of inherent to farming is a lot of fluctuation where you might have a really good crop and the next crop might get a disease and you lose all of it. Whereas this allows the price and the income for the farmers to be relatively stable. This also gets an influx of business into rural communities where you normally wouldn't have as much. Another advantage of subsidies is the overall competitiveness of Washington state economy. This is one of the main pros of government subsidies. I think definitely is beneficial to help the farmers, but that can also have negative benefits. But I think one of the biggest benefits is this competitiveness. Now, the government subsidies don't inherently make the market any more or less competitive. In fact, like within Washington state of different farms, it probably makes it slightly less competitive. But when we're looking at Washington state competing with the other states, competing with other countries, and both national and international trade, we have the interest of Washington state and our economy as a whole. And if that thrives, then the rest of the state also is benefited, as well as the farming communities. And so the government subsidies, especially with like apples, wheat, dairy, and things like that, can help Washington state and our economy to be more successful nationally and globally. Now let's talk about some disadvantages. One of the big disadvantages is the disproportionate benefits to larger farms. By nature, if there's government subsidies, larger farms can have more access to that and they can produce more supply. Essentially, government subsidies is saying we want you to make more product for the same price. So we're saying we want to order more, but we're not going to ask for a discount on it. And so larger farms inherently have the ability to make more. And this also leads to industry consolidation, where you have this tendency, if larger farms are more successful under the subsidies, then smaller farms tend to kind of die out and farms kind of clump together into these bigger farms. And one of the big parts of our community is having all of these family owned farms. And a lot of the small to medium family owned farms that are essential to the communities, uh, it's not actually the best solution for them all to be consolidated into one big farm. And so this also leads to a couple different areas with the market of market distortion, where essentially you're affecting the free economy there. You're affecting you're not just letting the economy run its course. So to try to stay a little brief here, I'd like to talk about the discussion question of, is this system working well, somewhere in between, poorly, and what would I do if I could do a magic wand? To start off with, I think this system is working somewhere in between. I think it probably is a bit on the beneficial side, mainly because of the Washington farming economy and agriculture economy being more successful with national and international trade that brings more money in, and that kind of offsets how much we're spending taxpayer wise on the government subsidies. Because of the farm consolidation and interfering with the market, those can have some problems. So, if I were to wave a magic wand, I would like to see, without the need for government subsidies, it would be ideal to have the current, economic system of just the free economy and free market to be able to thrive and be able to produce and support all the different sizes of farms in order to create a really good Washington economy. However, often markets can be very volatile. They generally kind of self-regulate, but there can be a tendency to lose people on the fringes, both in big and small, with a market, as well as its less consistent income for the farmers. And you don't always know what's coming next year. And so, for that reason, I think that realistically, the government subsidies, I certainly don't think we can just suddenly cut them out. But they're not perfect either. So that's my view on it. I'd like to see the market be able to take over, but I think that realistically, while not perfect, the subsidies do help at least somewhat.